up, my little TisaTellss? Listen, sit down. We have an exclusive from Jeezy, right? Okay. Listen, Jeezy did an interview that was just in August where he talked about literally Jeannie Ma being the best partner, the best wife, and down for everything. You guys, if you don't know, why are we bringing this up? Because there's been so many rumors going around about Jeannie Mai and Jeezy and why he filed for divorce. People are like, oh, her mama was always in stuff. She was speaking Vietnamese to her daughter. Imagine a woman who was actually Vietnamese speaking her mother tongue to her daughter because she wants her daughter to be bilingual. I said, y'all reaching, but people still said, no, there was infidelity. There was Mario Lopez. Jeannie came out and said two things. One, ain't no way. Not Mario Lopez, not anyone, not ever. Jeezy was her person, okay? To which I will always say, and I'll do a different video about this in a different thing, but I always think it was really odd that Jeezy, who is the one that I believe leaked all this stuff to every single outlet and went out of his way to publicly humiliate her, why would you let people walking around thinking that she was throwing it to her coworker? That can damage her industry reputation, and you yourself knew it wasn't true. Because let's hear about the way Jeezy said that Jeannie loved him down and had his back. But before we do, let this be an example to anybody that is of the Kevin Samuels dominion. Y'all, let's go. Let me cue this up so y'all can just hear right quick. This is out of Jeezy's mouth, and then we are going to discuss. Are y'all ready for this? Anyway, in this interview, let me cue it up for you. He goes on to talk about how he don't trust no one, and he learned a while not to trust anybody. He don't trust nothing. But then over time, he learned to let his guard down and know that he was safe with people. And then somebody said, well, what's your relationship like with your wife? Mind you, this is almost 3.5, 4 weeks before he filed. But also know that when he did this, when he said this boy was sitting on divorce papers. Now, you can file for divorce as you want. You don't want to be married to me? I think go about your business. But we can all believe that it is cold-blooded after you lit to put divorce papers on someone while they are going through heavy postpartum depression, and especially because this is how you really feel about them. Are y'all ready? Let's get into this.
Firsthand,
What is the biggest lesson your wife has taught you?
The biggest lesson she taught me in life is that having a partner is having somebody that is on the same wavelength as you, and you guys are building the building together is the best thing in the whole wide world. My wife is smart, super savvy, fly, let's say that. And it's just like, that's my partner. Like, we can talk about things and she's there with me, right? And then she can also tell me things that I wouldn't take from anybody else. Because there's been times I've been in a situation, my wife is like, have you ever thought about? I'm like, no, I have not. Let me get into that. And we sit down, we politic, and we talk, and it's just like we come up with a plan. And I love that. And she can hold her own, and that's what I really respect about her. Like, she has just as many resources and things as I have, and we always put them together to do things.
That's amazing.
Like, she's very well-traveled, and I love that. Like, we can go anywhere, and she's plugged in, and we live a life together that we both sit down. And I mean, the first couple months we was together, we sat down and we did a vision board. It was like this big vision board. It was in the living room in my condo, and we just doing all these saw these ideas, and we looked up maybe like a year later, we had done everything.
That's so cool, man.
We got to do another board.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. I've got a few more questions for you.
This fool, not y'all, but the slow people in the comments are talking about Jeannie Mai like she's the devil. And listen, this is not defending Jeannie. Jeannie got money. Jeannie got connections. Jeannie gonna be okay. It's not just Jeannie Mai. It's any woman that is dogged by a man, whether they Black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, or Haitian. The way y'all be so ready to think that the only way a man that got 4 babies mamas by 2, 3, or 4 different women could have did something wrong, You just heard that man. They were creating vision boards. They sat down and talked. That was his better half. They were in it together. She loves the way she communicates. Y'all keep forgetting that when Jeannie said, I didn't even know I had a temper problem with Jeezy till Jeezy told me. Again, 40-year-old, you got through how many unto relationships, all this stuff. He's the first person who told you. But guess what? The one thing that people keep leaving off of this is the fact that Jeannie said that she checked herself and she changed herself and she got softer. She got this, and look what happened. Again, look what happened. Now, I hear a lot of people saying that Jeannie wants it. Again, let me just rewind this because this fool said they were creating vision boards. Did you hear the way that's his better path? He trusts her so much that she can tell him things that other people can't. Jeannie, whatever the issue was with her temper, actually checked it. Jeannie did this also. I want to give a shout out to my boy, Michael. Michael, thank you so much for sending me this interview with Jeezy. I appreciate it. But y'all, listen, there's also people saying that the only reason that Jeannie wants to save her family is because she's trying to get the prenup voided. I hear you, and I completely understand how people would feel like she's doing that, except for the fact that Georgia is not California. Jeannie, in my opinion, is trying to get her family reunited because she didn't want to be a single mom. And she is so traumatized by being the child of a single parent that because of the abuse, all the stuff, she does not want it to happen. I think she's fighting for her marriage. Now, we can argue about whether that's a good thing. Baby, if a man tell you he don't want you, go about your business. But even if Jeezy was going to reconsider, right? Even if he was going to reconsider, the fact that you planned our anniversary trip of a lifetime to my home country made me fall deeper in love with you. The whole time we're there, you got those divorce papers sitting there. This was not an anniversary trip. This was a goodbye trip. I'm just the only one that didn't know. So the goodbye trip was there. You did all that. You own podcasts talking about how I'm your better half. We like this. And before y'all say, well, we don't know what's going on in private. We don't. But we know what's going on in public. We know what Jeezy said out of his own mouth. We saw the way Jeannie loved them fully, bigly every day. And we have Jeannie's old statement saying, I'm devastated. Where'd this come from? I hope you reconsider. Again, would you reconcile? Again, it's Jeannie's life, not mine. But would you actually reconcile with anybody that sat on divorce papers, basically lied in your face, sneak attacked you just because they were afraid that you would get the jump on them? And at the end of the day, even by Jeezy's own admissions that he's been putting out through other people, I know some of y'all are gonna be like, we don't know what's going on. Jeezy's been leaking to the press since it's happened. What are you talking about? I don't understand the mentality when y'all need people to write a handwritten letter and sign it in blood. Sincerely, me. Like, do y'all, like, situational? You gave us the clues. You gave us the context. I think we can actually say, again, Jeezy has been playing games. He has been playing in Jeannie's face. I fully expect him to pop up with a new girl in 3 months. I wouldn't even trust him to come back. Because if you did this to me once, how can I ever trust you again? And if you listen to Jeezy's interview, and I had an interview on one of my other videos, he knows, because that's the way he thinks, that if he don't get you first, he can't sleep because you eventually going to get him. By the fact that he actually applied for a divorce, right? The fact that he did all this stuff, Jeezy ain't going back to Jeannie either. And it's really, really sad that something that could have been a conversation, and he said they talk about everything, you decided to throw it all to the wind just because you have buyer's remorse about what being a husband, a father, and a true partner is. All because you had buyer's remorse. Y'all, listen, I know a lot of people saying, Jeannie just trying to get that prenup evaluated. But I will say this, in the state of Georgia, not California, not New York, but in the state of Georgia, it is almost virtually impossible. I don't care who's telling you this. Anything's possible. But it's almost virtually unheard of for any marriage under 3 years to ever get alimony. Ever. And even in marriages that reach 10 years, That's when Georgia starts, 7 to 10 years. That's when Georgia really starts being like, okay, let's look and see if this person deserves alimony. Even if the prenup is evaluated, alimony, it's virtually impossible to get it under 3 years. But when they do look at whether you deserve alimony, they look at what's your wages, did you ever stop working, and how much money you bring in. And Jeannie brought her own money. And like you heard Jeezy say, we got our own money. That's why he liked her. He felt like she wasn't trying to use him. She got her own money. We fly together. We this, we that. Okay, let's just say the judge says, okay, fine. We still gonna give her alimony. Do you know that the most you can get in Georgia is the money of 1/3 of the time you were together? So if you're together 10 years, you get alimony for 3. If you were together for 2 years, you get alimony for like 8 months. And that alimony is reduced based off of how much you can support yourself. Y'all, listen, it's a mess. I'm praying for Jeannie. I don't know why. I guess it's her family. She got her own ideas. But once somebody show you who they are, this is the one time Jeannie needs to pick up Jeezy's book and be like, he showed you who he was. You might want to believe him. Y'all, listen, let me know what you think about this. Are you surprised that he said this? Don't tell me he was just saying that because he ain't had no reason to say it. Stop it. Stop defending this Dusty King who's shown multiple times. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.